Hello, welcome back. We're back to Sharp Edge News TV. I hope you guys are doing well. Trust you're doing well with your family out there in the world. Do us a favor, hit the like button as you're coming in, share, subscribe, and follow. Without any further ado, we have the editor-in-chief and the publisher of Sharp Edge News TV with us today, Chief Oladimeji Abitogun. Welcome, sir.
So great to be back, and with utter sincerity, deep sense of appreciation, we say thank you to our viewers, wherever they may be, and
Awesome.
to let them know that we appreciate them. We thank them for always having the time to hang out with us and to connect with what we do and to be part of what we are projecting from here. Thanks indeed. Ola, good to be back with you.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir. All right, great. So I'm sure you have, how should I say, a plethora of special, coverage to give to us today. We do have a headline: Legal petition targets Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, release of convict challenged. Where is Haliru Nababa? So we have that to cover. I'm just going to read it. I found this article somewhere. Maybe I know you have a special, but give me just about 20 seconds to read this. This is I don't know, I don't know how. This says lawyer petitions Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo over release of convict Anthony Okpala. Some guy here, a Nigerian lawyer, Benignos Chibueze Mbam, has petitioned the Minister for Interior Olubunmi Ojo and the Comptroller General. There's all kind of typographical error all over this article too, so I don't know the authenticity of it, but I know there's some news and you probably have some updates for us with regards to the Nigerian correctional with respect to the man that we're looking at on the screen as well, Mr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo. Can you just go ahead and bring us up to speed on that, sir?
Indeed, the situation with the Nigerian Correctional Service calls for concern. You would recall that in different through different presentations, like 2-3 past editions of our program, we challenged the attitude of the leadership of Nigerian Correctional Service and then the Minister of Interior. I don't know why people always like to use the preposition for when they are talking about ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The appropriate preposition there is of. Minister of Interior, Minister of this, Minister of that, and so on and so forth. So the escape of chronic suspects and convicts at the Suleja Correctional Facility this past week immediately got us beaming a searchlight on what indeed has been going on with that parastatal under the Ministry of Interior in Nigeria. And we find out that Mr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo took his eyes off the prize, off the ball, the ultimate goal of keeping Nigeria secured. And he got carried away by the adulations and empty praises from people regarding the feat he has called concerning reforms in immigration, another arm of his ministry. But he has forgotten that before he got into office, there had been series of jailbreaks all over Nigeria At the time, it was almost going to be a 1 week, one jailbreak affair. And the situation has not even relented since he got into office. Yes, we consider he is brilliant. He has a sense of mission. He is visionary. But the people who have always wanted to lay claim to entitlement when it comes to the leadership of Interior Ministry, the Correctional Service, they have never rested on their efforts to make sure that the government of Nigeria continues to get embarrassed, continues to be frustrated. And so contracts are awarded at Nigeria Correctional Service. People just collect money, whether when you talk of gas and ration, the feeding system for inmates, and food are not really supplied commensurate to what contractors are paid. Everybody is always dealing off the top of the inmates in Nigerian correctional facilities. That is the same attitude that attended the situation in Suleja. Listen to me attentively, every Nigerian. Listen to me, Mr. President Bola Tinubu. You cannot sleep while on the watch as the president of Nigeria. As you're planning to get the place secured, people are also planning to frustrate you because they think they have entitlement. This is where we challenge Haliru Nababa. For example, he knew the standards that have always been employed when it comes to building security fences, perimeter fences for Nigerian correctional facilities. Before the rain that fell, which weakened the foundation of the correctional facility in Suleja, where more than 115 inmates escaped, most of them Boko Haram convicts, and now they are on free range everywhere in Abuja. Nobody can sleep with the eyes closed anymore. They knew. They know the kind of contractors they engage to build prison walls in Nigeria, and they know the shoddy job they do most times. You don't find them putting in adequate measure of cement to erect these facilities. And so that wall in Suleja was so weak. And then when that rain fell, it gave in. Worse than what happened in biblical Jericho. That wall came down. And then prisoners escaped everywhere. Now ask me, fundamentally, it didn't have to be that prison facility. Considering the fact that our research has shown that another facility has been completed, ready for occupation in the same Suleja. So inmates were allowed to continue to stay in the decadent and dilapidated old Suleja correctional facility. They were not moved to the ones that have been built. And elsewhere, there are 3,000 capacity correctional facilities built to taste, everything in place. Our people did not deem it fit that the life and property of every Nigerian matters. And so anything could go. Haliru Nababa, otherwise known as Mr. Noted, is never in a hurry to do anything. He does not care whether prisons continue to get. By now, I was thinking he would have been put on trial. The man who continues to enable him, the secretary of the board of correctional service, the past Comptroller General of Correctional Service, Jafaru, who is the godfather in that institution that has become their principality, their stronghold. There's never a question about anything. And they are always hedging, thinking that, oh, if Tinubu should exert his executive powers as Nigerian president, they will plot a coup against him. This is the mentality with which they continue to carry on. And Nigerians daily get increasingly insecure. That is the situation about that. Now we go back to other issues relating to security in Nigeria. This past weekend, an enthusiast of All Progressives Congress, APC, a supporter of the incumbent governor of Ondo State, was gruesomely murdered in Akoko land. Ondo State again. Political violence again. They should ask people like us the cost, the price that we have had to pay because of political intolerance. We're talking of the shadow elections, the primary elections of just a political party now, the ruling party in the state, All Progressives Congress. What is going to happen? What does this portend for the statewide election where the governor will be chosen in a few months' time? And like every other thing, it will be normalized. It will become the norm. Life will continue. We demand that the people who killed that political activist, that loyalist of the incumbent governor, must be fished out. Luckily enough, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, the interior minister, that is his purview again, that Nigeria must be secured internally. That is his job. If he cannot keep Nigerians safe, starting from his homeland in Akoko, Ondo State, Ondo North Senatorial District, if he cannot keep us safe as Nigerians, he should throw in the towel. He should resign. I have nothing against him personally. I ought to be proud of him, and I'm indeed proud of him as a young Nigerian. But if he takes his eyes off the ball, and increasingly Nigerians are not secured in the country, then what's the essence of having him there? What is the difference that he is making? What is he putting on the table as somebody that symbolizes the generational shift that we all have always clamored for? Things ought to be better under him. He ought to be more pragmatic. And that takes us to the final subject on our special report segment. The way foreign interests continue to treat Nigerians as if they do not matter. An Indian company dealing in textile has come in, duly got introduced to the Nigerian market by a group of Nigerian youths, not minding the fact that that country don't really get enthusiastic or excited about providing support for upstart Mr. Dayo Olubi decided to put his money, his God on the line, introduce these Indian people to the Nigerian market. They have done well. And then when it comes to sharing profits with this Nigerian indigenous, with this Nigerian natives, the Indian company trying to be smart, so their minders playing smart aleck, decided to renege. And then Mr. Dayo Olubi approached the Nigerian police. There is some so-called Assistant Inspector General that has been dropping the name of the Inspector General of Nigeria Police anyhow, perpetuating corruption and taking sides with these Indian entrepreneurs against the worthy interest of Nigerian citizens. Elsewhere, those of us who were born in Nigeria who live as immigrants, business owners overseas. We are not that lucky. We are not even given any chance. So we are oppressed abroad, at home too. They make us to to believe we are losers. We are no losers. And then Nigeria must stand up for this young entrepreneur, Mr. Dayo Olubi. Every dime that this Indian business cheat has screamed off this Nigerian worthy and illustrious business person must be recouped for him. The so-called corrupt policemen taking sides with these Indian business people must be identified, unmasked, and probably put on trial. Honestly, thank God, I have no passion to be a political leader in Nigeria. If I were in charge of affairs there, they will be identified pronto and probably put on trial. If found guilty, they will be executed. There is no place for people who sabotage citizens of their country and interests of their country. What a shame. Thank you. That is our special report.
Thank you so much.
Next week.
Thank you so much for that. That was actually quite well detailed, but we can't finish the conversation in one day, so we have to stay on top of it. But thank you so much for that. All right, thank you so much. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. Let us know your thoughts in the comment area, and check out this next segment. We'll be right back. All right.
Each of these children's payments, but I don't think he would mind. Benny, he will not mind. Part of defending him is to show you guys these are the receipts of the payments for each child. I have this on my Instagram page as well, my Facebook, my Twitter, even my website, adelafayon.com. In case you want to zoom in to see, you get what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm here to defend my uncle. Now, it is very important for you to know that Yahaya Bello did not make these payments by himself. Benny. They were made by somebody called Ali Bello, whom a lot of people are saying is Yahaya Bello's nephew. I said, Kogi people are talking, they like to talk. Hey, baby. He said, she said, they said, don't quote me. But they said Ali Bello is actually his son. They said he had him when he was in secondary school. I'm sorry. When he was in secondary school, Kogi people.
All right. Enough of the.
Yeah, very.
She's very good at what she does.
Yeah, Dola is very hilarious, and I'm happy to have identified with her when she first started.
Yeah,
and I'm so proud of her. She's doing well now. Yahaya Bello is seen on daily basis. Surely are finding him out. This guy can run. He cannot hide from justice. And shame on every Nigerian apologist for crime. People who should have been ideologues ordinarily for positive initiatives, defending this unworthy conduct. When they said, "Oh, it never happened," and because of the perspectives that we almost embrace, broad thinking process when it comes to public governance and leadership, that does not mean that what is right will stop to be right, and what is wrong will never stop to be wrong. In the final analysis, this is gut-wrenching about the morality, about the integrity, about the credibility of people who are minding affairs in Kogi State, past and present. Because they're trying to shift all the blame on EFCC.
You didn't
For
mention
me,
Governor Olodo's name. Governor Olodo.
yeah, they say they said it's Ododo Usman Ododo. He
It's
perfectly,
Ododo. Okay, I thought Olodo.
yeah, no, Usman Ododo. But you can pun on that. You are allowed, and we will always go through Kogi State whenever we are in Nigeria, and we know what people like this can do. What would they not do? When Yahaya Bello was in power, he was so reckless. Could you imagine the level of damage he brought on public? What's it called? Public assets. The way he brought in bulldozers, earth moving equipment to destroy the road leading to the house
Somebody's
of
poor unit.
Senator Natasha.
Right. The house. You're right. The house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why would somebody behave that way, thinking that, oh, he would always be in power? Now he's out of power. He's in the cold. They want to serve him the dish he served on helpless Nigerians. He's running from justice, and then some shameless characters, some faceless people are massing together, including lawyers who ought to be debarred or disbarred if they were in America, if they practiced in civilized crimes, they would have been disbarred, trying to defend him. One came on a Nigerian national television. Instead of addressing the issue, he started bragging, empty boast, grandstanding against an established institution. But thank God, increasingly, Nigerians are beginning to witness the evolution of strong institutions in place of strong men. So all these arguments about, oh, he did not do it. Thank God for that American school in Nigeria. They have now returned excess money to
$760,000. That's a lot of money.
Remember, the chairman of EFCC said that money totaled about $720,000. People started calling him names. They said he was engaging in media trial. So what is wrong about media trial? Let's even, I mean, you have to sensationalize and shame these shameless looters.
Is it true that EFCC have withdrawn their invitation?
Well, do they even need to invite him before they pounce on him? You see, it's almost like the lyrics of the song by Oba Shakasha or Besiri. Ẹni tọ́lọ́pàá mú tó lóun ò gba horo tó lóun ò gba kọ̀rọ̀. Ta ló béèrè ẹjọ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ kó yẹ sùkúrú rojọ́ kó ṣàfi dé station ni. Yes, whether people come out to defend him, they put up all kinds of charade which they call arguments, standing so polemic. Who cares? We said they should stop hemorrhaging Nigeria, and the system is catching up with them. So kudos to EFCC. I do not think they have withdrawn anything. I think they are just changing their strategy.
They changed strategy.
They got him. This guy is going down. And you know, from what I've heard, other security agencies in Nigeria are beginning to investigate him concerning some mysterious disappearances and murders in Kogi State while he was in power. This is something that does not really represent the aspirations of millions of Nigerian youths who ought to have been otherwise proud of him, but he brought a shame on that generation, and I have no pity for him. He should not wait any further. He should submit himself to the process. And if he does not, they should show him the nature of power, authority, and force. If he's not going to answer to the Nigerian police, they should mobilize the cavalry. The military should take him down. It does not matter. You cannot resist arrest. You cannot obstruct justice. That is the way it goes. And this is a very violent and virulent character. If he feels otherwise, he should go to court and clear his name. Simple. And I'm happy right-thinking lawyers like Shifemi Falano, progressive lawyers are harping on the fact that this guy should submit himself to the process. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Let us know your thoughts. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. We would like you to know your thoughts. Yeah, by the way, check out this next segment. We'll be right back.
These are clearly legally unusual times and strange times, and it's all accelerating. And for people who are supposed to be impartial, whether that's judges overseeing a case to independent reporters doing their best, just describing these abnormal and troubling realities can itself sound like criticism. If you say, oh gosh, they're talking about a license to kill innocent people, almost sounds like you're going at them, when really you're just accurately describing what they claim they could do in court 6 months out of an election. The New York trial resumes tomorrow, and I can mention I will be in the courtroom tomorrow. We've been relying on our own team of reporters, and we trade off sometimes, and I'm going to be in that room, and I'll share with you what I see and learn if you tune in tomorrow. But prosecutors will be calling more witnesses this week. Both sides gearing up for Michael Cohen. Prosecutors view him as the eyewitness to a campaign crime. Defense lawyers, they think Cohen could help. They brought him up in their opening arguments. They view him and his past as a key to showing jurors some kind of reasonable doubt about the case. If you can't trust Cohen, they argue, then how can you have confidence beyond a reasonable doubt of a crime?
All right. Let's catch up on Donald Trump and his trial case, his hush money trial case that is ongoing. In fact, the report I was just reading saying that they're not, I think they said the juries are not looking at him, and they're saying that's a good sign. And my question is, good sign for what? Can you bring us up to speed on this?
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's a good sign as to their refusal to be intimidated or overwhelmed by, yes, it's looming and larger than life image as the former president of this is our great country, United States of America. Remember the opening statement of the defense, where they were reminding the jury that, okay, there is former President Donald Trump, and when you address him in this court, it should be addressed as President Donald Trump. Well, you know, Americans don't give a hoot about things like that most times. Talk less of eminent
overall.
jury. Yes. In the final analysis.
Yeah.
They are paying attention to is a former bosom friend and minder.
Michael Cohen.
No, the publisher of the AMI tabloid. Yeah, they are engrossed with his testimonies on purpose. The prosecution decided not to bring in his personal lawyer that had been Michael, that had been jailed, for perjury and lies and all that. But remember, Mike has always maintained that he took the bullet for Donald Trump. And in previous investigations, they referred to him as individual one. Remember, during the congressional hearings and the special prosecutor's situation, when he was in office, ahead of the elections, the two impeachments that he suffered in the hands of then House of Representatives. Ultimately, the Senate ought to have removed him from office, but the Senate that was dominated by Republicans prevaricated, and they gave him that undeserved protection. Now he is in court, and nobody is paying attention to that. The only thing that fascinates the vast majority of those in that court and the rest of us Americans outside the court is his demeanor, his conduct. He runs his mouth less now. He knows that he's been caged. There is no crowd to play to here. He cannot entertain the gallery anymore. All the gap, all the facade of presidency has been removed. Today, he stands there like you and I. Folks, American citizens, every day, John, Harry, Thomas, Mary, and what have you. So this is the moment of reckoning. Now the ball is in the court of the jury.
Right.
He may try to slander them, he may try to defame them, call them names like the bully that he has always been, or that has now been called to size with the impending pronunciation on his gag violations. So he's strict there. He is there. It is between him now, the proven issues. Remember, we assume his innocence until he's proven guilty.
Right.
So he is there right now, facing this jury, and the jury, they are always looking at the way the witnesses are carrying on, the way they conduct themselves, the body language, and are they going to cave in? Are they going to unravel under intense scrutiny when cross-examination comes from the defense? That has not happened so far. So when eventually what's his name? Macromy or whatever, whenever he's brought in to put the icing on the entire argument, it will be a easy stuff. Because at that point, the long desire that his integrity will be impeached because he's been to prison will no longer be there. It is now finding the connection, the symmetry between what he deposed to in the past, his present testimony, and what these close allies of Donald Trump will be saying. Not just the news publisher or the tabloid publisher now, who will find out have been planting stories, falsehood about Cruz, about people who that did not happen, about the killing or the assassination of a former president, which they cooked up out of nowhere. And this cash and kill stuff. Now we know that the corruption that we have always spoken about in places like Nigeria, in the media and all that, fails to insignificance when compared with what these people have perpetrated. And now we know when people like Lai Mohammed speaks, I've always said it. When you see them talk of fake news, check them out.
They're getting it from him.
They are all. Donald Trump has now been exposed as somebody that was always perpetrating and planting falsehood.
Right.
And then we shout on rooftop that, fake news. Same thing about Lai Mohammed in Nigeria.
Interesting. So, Trump.
Yeah, it's about twist of fate.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this particular UK publication, The Guardian, they're talking about a strategy to survive hush money trial. They said the hush money trial began badly for Donald Trump last week. The defense tactics have been primarily to downplay Trump's actions and make them seem a lot more normal,
like routine,
less seedy, and par for the course for what politicians do. Cameron says they have been hammering home the idea that hush money payments are not illegal, which is true, while sidestepping the crux of the matter that the trial is about falsifying.
The crux of the matter.
Right. That the trial is about falsifying business records to cover up payments to former adult film actor Stormy Daniels.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
And of course, we're out of time already. But of course, this is not about that. It is about perverting the process and planting falsehood that change
Yeah.
the direction of things about that election. If
Yeah.
stuff like this had not been caught and killed, you probably would not have even be talking of Donald Trump as a past president. So
Yeah.
this is not just about hush money. It's about how that hush money affected our destiny, our political destiny as a country, and the
Right.
possibility of having a demented individual again in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
And it may not happen anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes no sense that it would just be about hush money. And they are wasting their time. Thank you so much, sir. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow, and let us know what your thoughts are about this segment. If you like this one, you're definitely going to like the next segment. Check it out. We'll be right back.
Meeting on global collaboration, growth and energy for development is ongoing at the World Economic Forum, which just opened a moment ago in Saudi Arabia. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is attending the event, and he has only just spoken a few minutes ago and says his vision is to reset the country's economy and create a new pathway for growth in Nigeria. He notes that sadly the removal of fuel subsidy has created some discomforts to Nigerians, but that the move is worth it as there is light at the end of the tunnel. The president was a part of panelists at the ongoing opening session of the World Economic Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
In the world, how do you see now the prospects, and what are your next steps to really make Nigeria's economy grow further?
Thank you very much. Salam alaikum. And let me, in addition, join
That's your president, sir.
in congratulating the Kingdom
Always
of
going
Saudi
so
Arabia
religious,
for putting
not
this
not
opportunity
being
together.
sensitive to the
Uh,
feelings of the vast majority of its citizens.
I know it's not easy. For Nigeria, we are immensely consistent with our belief that
All right. His belief is headline: fuel subsidy removal prevented the bankruptcy of Nigeria. What says you about this, sir?
Can that indeed be true? At least from what we know now, we are told that the landing cost of premium spirit, that is petroleum in Nigeria, is about 950 naira, and the pump price is around 600. But with the latest scandal of long queues and non-availability of the product, there are places where PMS sells for as much as 1,200, 2,000 naira per liter. So what difference has this subsidy removal, so-called, if indeed it's been truly removed in totality, what difference has it brought? Look at the attendant effect on food inflation. Look at the last week you and I were talking about the sustainability of the value of the naira that got a bit firmed up. We doubted if it was sustainable. This week, look at where Nigeria is. The naira has taken a plunge again. So when he says subsidy has helped Nigeria to recover, and you are asking to, where is the dividend per se? Everybody.
The dividend is that Nigeria is not bankrupt.
Well, that is even subject to argument. In a country, yes, everything is never on the table. People are always holding so much to the chest, always
Right.
having some haze up their sleeve. So you really can't trust what they say most times. Anyway, beyond what he is saying in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, at the World Economic Forum, we also heard that he was able to secure a facility of about $600 million to improve port facilities and operations in Nigeria. This is what we want to add to that. You know, this is economic reform must have humane face. It must have humane face. It is not enough to leave the shores of Nigeria to go and sermonize and begin to propagate what is not in tandem with the feelings of the poor masses in Nigeria. There must be that intervention. Look at what the governor of Edo State has just announced, Obaseki, saying the minimum wage in the state will now be 70,000 naira. He's still
Right.
waiting on the federal government to come up with something reasonable as the minimum wage on federal, at federal level. And he said he would not stop there. Obaseki has said he would not stop there if things improve or the federal government has a better suggestion. They would still respond adequately. We do not expect any less intervention or action from prosperous states like Lagos and Rivers, and possibly Ondo. The conduct of the government of Ondo is the most appalling and disgraceful. It's an oil producing state. But go and look at the condition of our people there. And our people who are having their own faces and illusion of what's it called? Stockholm syndrome, are always praising their leaders, successive leaders.
The oppressor.
Yes. Yes. The only guy
Wow.
that I look at as an exception is Mimiko. This current one, and Ayedatiwa, we love him. He must change the narrative. Let the people's resources revenue, let it serve the people. So that is why I'm saying this $600 million that Tinubu is bringing from Netherlands, from Holland, to improve the ports. You see, the ports should not just be in Lagos State. It should not just be a Lagos affair. Look at the vast shoreline, the coastline of Ondo State. That is the deepest and most natural. A port must take off there. They should look at the possibility of developing another one in Edo. The coastal states, free up the system. You are talking of open market economy and all that. You see how we are literally surrounded by seaports in America here. You go to Florida, you go to Texas, you go
Jersey.
to New Jersey, Georgia, DC, Maryland, everywhere, all around
Everywhere.
us.
Because this means money. It means money.
Yes, but the Nigerian mentality. Oh, the less there is, we try to cocoon up. For what? Open up the space and let the nation grow.
These are angles to export to sell more to the rest of the world.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So if they are asking for expertise, we will put it on the table. And they should stop developing exclusive clubs. Those who have access, you criticize them, they don't think you have anything to contribute.
That's a major problem. That's a major problem.
No, they should open up. They should open up. Tinubu, free up the economy. Free it up. And the state governors must respond adequately and appropriately.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you for that. Now, speaking of free up the economy, let's get some ball rolling here. Definitely, if you like that story, first of all, we want to hear your thoughts on it in the commentary.
Yes, and part of that is the NNPCL being upfront and honest with Nigerians. We have our own man there. We never knew, we didn't know him to be a liar, and he cannot start lying now.
Who's that?
We must know. No, I don't want to give any name. He knows himself.
Okay. Okay.
at
I see what you mean.
NNPCL,
Okay.
you know. And Dangote, all the refineries, what can they bring on the table to break this squeeze on the system? And everybody is saying, oh, just because Dangote will soon be rolling out a PMS, what's it called? The NNPC is trying to mop up what is in circulation to make sure they don't record losses. At what expense? This problem you have, remember, 1991, when I was in the university, I remember there was a crazy queue all over Nigeria. And so this situation, this craze has been on for almost 33 years. When is it going to stop?
God help us. All right. Anyway, so speaking of that, again, we're still talking about freeing up the economy. If you like the idea, you might want to take a look at this next segment. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. Let us know your thoughts about this, and we'll be right back. That's the sound of demolition.
Yeah.
And sadly, there are also demolition parts of the landmark beach resort. That was part of the fear of some I guess you want to call them sympathizers, empathizers.
Diaspora Nigerians who brought back good money to invest in the system.
So the Lagos-Calabar coastal road takes landmark beach partially. Hopes dashed. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Speak to this one.
See, David Umahi, the ruling cabal in Nigeria, they all said, oh, they were going to do that, and that's what they have done. And it speaks to one fact, that these people are asking for foreign direct investment in Nigeria, or direct foreign investment in Nigeria. Arbitrary actions like this speak to one thing. Can the system be trusted? Is the system operating in integrity? The promises they are offering, can we trust the credibility of the individuals behind the drivers of the Nigerian system? May Nigeria never happen to you. May it never happen to you. It has happened to me. Yeah, I know of a sitting federal lawmaker, a lady, currently in Nigeria, who, out of sheer wickedness and this attitude of, oh, we are in charge, we will kill you if you dare us, ruined my business in Lagos. I moved to Ondo State to do my media center with borrowed resources and everything on the table. What did Akeredolu government do? So these landmark people now have brought good money after operating for years in Europe, Canada, US. Mobilize revenue resources. If you don't belong to the Nigerian ruling class, you are on your own. And I'm sure all this happened to him because it's not part of them. Otherwise, nothing says that David Umahi, ever stubborn, they are hailing him as if it's so fantastic, they said his engineer, he has propounded some fantastic option of using concrete construction on the roads and what have you. It does not. That does not change the fact of his past. You know how many monarchs got beheaded by invaders under his watch in Ebonyi State as governor? I'm talking particularly of the king of Umueze Okoha, who got beheaded. You see, the other day when bandits went after Yoruba kings, people were shouting, do you know how many Igbo monarchs have been killed? Under the watch of people like David Umahi. And that is the same mentality is bringing to the federal stage. People mobilize real resources, good money, invest such money in Nigeria, and then you bring your bulldozer, your earth-moving equipment, more than everything. Yes, we want the success of the coastal highway, but you do not hurt businesses. That road, the cost could have been changed, but to them, hurting their citizens is how.
Are you talking about David Umahi from Ebonyi State?
Yes, he's the Minister of Works.
Minister of Works. Okay.
This is happening under his watch, and the Lagos elites too. They are clapping for him as if he has done well. And I can only sympathize with the investors on that stretch of coastal land on their losses, particularly the landmark business owner. I hope something will be done to mitigate his losses.
So do you think, because remember we were talking about freeing up the last segment, we were talking about freeing up the business, freeing up the marketplaces. Now they are creating a freeway. Do you think by any chances that this is just happened to be a very tough decision that they had to make?
It's not. These are people who operate like Portable will say.
Not Portable.
Uwaika, Ejelojubi Abasha. These are the people. Yes, whatever leadership you want to drive, and then you don't even look at the perspective of being humane. It's not really worth it. Not really worth it. After all, everything you are doing is about human beings. So you come like somebody waking up from Donald Trump's playland land. You want to be a strong man, dictator, authoritarian. There is something in them that tells them that is the way to go. What a shame. Because we are only here for a while.
Yeah.
We should stop hurting each other. We should stop hurting each other.
So this report on Arise TV says, as the dreams for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway begin to come to life and take shape, the dreams of many others at Landmark Beach, business owners, workers, fun seekers fade away, with the tourist spot swiftly transforming into a construction site.
That is the paradox. That is the irony. That is the cost, the real price. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some of the picture of this resort. It's beautiful, and
at the time, remember somebody. What's the name of this younger brother of Michael Jackson and Jamin Jackson?
Right.
Who was developing some facility in Badagry? Yeah. People are excited. You said what?
I remember that.
Yes, people are excited about coming over here, but the inconsistencies and the arbitrariness about how we handle public business.
In fact, I'll tell you something.
People to trust us.
Little me, big God, right? I purchased something that was costing me about $161.250 last week, and I sent about $140 plus or so. In that space of 1 week, that money is coming back less because I had to ask for a refund. We decided not to do business. That money is coming back less now. Can you imagine that at magnitudes? When it becomes it's just very it's just a dangerous business.
Your money is coming from your spent blood, sweat, toil, tears, and what have you. And when people do this to you, I mean, God knows how you feel. Gut-wrenching. So I sympathize with landmark owners. I sympathize really with them. Not just them. There are other people on that road axis.
Right.
That are terribly impacted, terribly affected.
I think there's a report saying they will compensate. I don't know how they're going to compensate them.
They should ask me. See, when properties belonging to my late uncle were destroyed because of politics, when my mother's house, you remember, was burned because of politics. She was not a politician, but because of my late uncle.
She was guilty by association.
Why should she be guilty? Anyway, they destroyed those things. And when the government of Nigeria said they were compensating, what they paid, what they paid was a joke.
Yeah.
Ludicrous, ridiculous, absurd.
Yeah.
Irrational, unreasonable, illogical. Honestly. So when they say they are going to compensate these guys, I can only imagine what it will be. It will be a kind
token
of insult.
Yeah.
What than a token? There will be insult. It will be gratuitous.
A token of insult.
Yes, that's what they will be saying.
That's sad. That is sad.
Yet we want to rise as a nation.
The thing is for me, me, I'm always fighting for, things that make sense economically speaking. The problem here is trust. We can't trust this people.
That trust deficit is always there. It's an albatross.
Yeah.
It's so haunting.
Because there's the example of the gentrifications, highways have been put up in developed countries. Obviously, some things were clear off the road in developed countries. But in Nigeria, it's just like, can you really trust those people? And the answer for majority right now is no. Yeah. And that also translates to even coming to Nigeria to do business.
Consider the hazards to that environment. All those things have not been considered now. Every day we continue to encroach on land areas that should assist us when it comes to best practices in agriculture, food production. We do not define city limits and all those things. Precious wildlife. Nigeria is supposed to be a place that is adorned by exotic flora and fauna. Wildlife.
Well, something is telling in my spirit.
Yes. Precious guests like elephants and what have you. All these things they are doing. No respect for the safety of that ecosystem there.
Yeah.
Yes. It's done.
And we know this from track record. And we know this from track record.
David Duma, he will come and be speaking big Turanchi at the expense of our Nigerian citizens. So it's about infrastructure and least care for the, for Nigerian citizenship or citizens. So, I can't help them. They need to help themselves.
I could hear this in my spirit right now.
Right.
Yeah. I can hear somebody say, well, these American people, don't trust us. Now your wala be that. Did somebody write that or you just
in
my spirit I can hear it. Another person's land would never be like your land. Okay, go into the comments and sell us on this idea of yours. I know you have an opinion. I'm sure I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but please enlighten us.
They should make home better. We are not rejecting home. Our home is our home. Our homeland remains our
All
homeland.
day, every day, every day.
Yes, we want things to be better for our country.
Yeah.
And it has to be a joint effort. There must be a meeting point, a meeting of mind between those home and those of us overseas or in the diaspora.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow so you're notified whenever we drop videos and we go live. And if you really like this segment, you're really going to like this next one. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Good morning, gentlemen of the press. Good morning, everybody. And I thank you for this opportunity of having to be with you today. Following my unwavering commitment to identifying and being able to find solutions to critical areas of need and our development, I've come to address a number of issues this morning. I've toured across the countries, meeting and discussing and interacting with people.
All right. Thank you, Baba, for that. Not much time, but essentially, he's appealing to noble Nigerians to drill 200,000 boreholes. He's asking privileged Nigerians to fund the drilling of 200,000 boreholes across the country to solve the problem of clean water. This is Mr. Peter Obi of Labour Party, former governor of Anambra State. What is your take on this one, sir?
200,000 boreholes.
Yes.
Being sunk around Nigeria simultaneously. Honestly, I don't know if I can help Mr. Peter Obi in this adventure. Do you know the implication of that for the firmness of the crust on which Nigeria stands? Loosening up the entire place. Studies have to be done. You don't just
right.
You don't just wake up. Obi is idealistic. I don't grudge him. I'm one of those who felt it would make a big difference. But concerning this, what is this fascination about borehole all the time? All about, people like us grew up knowing that we enjoyed functional pipe-borne water in the southwest and in several places. But the rivers have since dried up. No proper channelization. We block natural paths that got the entire place properly irrigated by natural means in the past. No, like I said earlier, city limits are not set. We do not find a way of harvesting and funneling rainwater. Libya under strongman Gaddafi, by the way, he was not my hero, but he did something. In the middle of that desert, desalinization of seawater channeled into Libya, and then a way of processing and making sure that every household had adequate water supply. We have abundant ocean resources in Nigeria. We have inland waters. The other day, I went back to my hometown and I looked at the River Ogbese. Something that flows for over 50 miles before emptying into the Atlantic is almost drying up. In fact, in some places, you find the whole place becoming, like mere puddle.
What is this? Is this global warming? What exactly is going on?
It's not just that. The case of Nigeria is exceptional. Yes, global warming is a reality, but that of Nigeria is exceptional. We block natural parks. The wetlands, all those things, they have been impacted. They have been distorted.
There's no preservation of.
Yes. So what Mr. Peter Obi and other political leaders in Nigeria should be thinking of is a kind of rebirth, renaissance across the land. Make sure, you see, they are saying there is no job, nothing. You see that there are no radical redrawing of the topography of America. You come to a place, you see that water is falling from hilltop, tumbling down, cascading, and all that.
You mess with that.
You don't mess with that. You try to preserve that nature.
Right.
In Nigeria, it's not like that. And now we want to dig the whole place up and then losing the firmness. So if earthquakes begin to happen tomorrow because tectonic plates are shifting,
right,
like
for digging so many boreholes into the ground,
like it happened around you in New Jersey and New York the other day. Who do we blame? So my suggestion is that Mr. Peter be not so fast. You have 82 brilliant ideas, but this one is not one of those. So you must look for other credible means and options for making water available.
Sustainable.
Yes. To every household. Honestly, if I have an opportunity of contributing to leadership and governance in Nigeria, water will be one area. After all, I was able to convince the then Ruwatsa chairman, executive chairman in Ondo State, Honorable Mrs. Yetunde Adeyanju, who convinced the governor then, the late Arakuri Olarotimi Akedolu, to give us reticulated borehole industrial capacity in Aredo. Today that water no longer flows. And this was only commissioned about 5 years ago. Today, those pipes have dried up. So we do not do things sustainably. So, dig 200,000 boreholes across Nigeria. What type? Would they be reticulated? And then, would they be done sustainably? These are the questions. But we must go back to that old passion of having huge dams, preserving the flow, the proper channels of our natural inland fresh water, and then make sure that the river basins are involved. Rural agricultural ministries and what have you, and the water corporations revitalize, and then make sure that we have water everywhere.
Absolutely. So the end goal is obviously clean water, but we can't be so quick to jump to a solution without doing some kind of feasibility studies for short and long term, at least.
See, Ola, in those days, I went to places like Newport News. You know Newport News?
Yes, in Virginia, right?
Yes, in Virginia. See, you find high pressure pumps from the public water corporations, taking things to places that are high. In Nigeria, in those days, in Akure, whenever you go to Champion Junction, or probably Ondo Bypass. Water will never get to Yemeku Grammar School and the other areas of the town. Today, water is such a precious commodity in state capitals like Akure and elsewhere. For how long are we going to continue like this? Empty promises, huge billions spent on what exactly? No water, no light, no good
On
roads.
convoys, on convoys. That's what they're spending them on.
Even the so-called convoys. I do not know. We just burn. We burn hard-earned money in Nigeria on corruption and worthless ideals.
But at least we are with Mr. Peter Obi that Nigeria needs clean water. Is the solution that we are saying? Can you tell us more? Because that drilling hole all around the nation, how sustainable is that? You know.
Then yes, and then we do not want to weaken. We do not want to weaken
the system.
The soil
system, the earth
soil system.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Because even in Lekki right now, an average person in Lekki cannot boast of water. They have to. They have to use pure water to shower. They have to use pure water to brush teeth. It's all kind of weird ways that they manage water in the richest neighborhoods in Nigeria.
Yeah, priorities. Priorities.
Special treatment every week. They have to spend extra on that. Anyway, thank you so much for that, sir. Thank you so much for your time this week. Thank you to everybody that stopped by this week. Do us a favor. Pleasure. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, comment. Let us know your thoughts. We're seeing the numbers, but let us know your thoughts. We would like to engage you as well. And any last words, sir? We're wrapping up.
Pretty much, you said it all. They should propagate what we represent, and when they talk about us, they should put us in the proper perspective. We do not appreciate it when we are misrepresented about what we, stand for, which is objectivity, which is non-biased, which is equal access for everybody in the media, and making sure that we continue to democratize the media space. And you like what we do, you know what you can do to encourage us. Thanks for your time. We'll see you again.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.